Hello everyone, I'm back with another video coming to you from a new and improved location. I'm on the bedroom floor today. The background is my wardrobe, that's all. So we're still talking about the coronavirus, unfortunately. So where better to begin than with the numbers. As of today, there are 45,204 cases of the coronavirus worldwide and 1,117 deaths. So it does appear that the rate of infection is going down. The death rate is still going up, but I guess, these deaths are from earlier infections, so I guess it will go up for a little while until the newer infections, the more recent infections, start to either recover or unfortunately pass away. So there is good news in that sense. The rate seems to be coming down, although I'm not buying it just because of that one person in England. Well, now he's in England, just because of that one person, and I've seen how he seemed to so easily spread it to about 11 other people. And how one person was in a supermarket in China and stood next to someone who was infected for 15 seconds and then got infected themselves. I just can't believe that the numbers are what they are for across the whole of China, 1.4 billion people. And that boat, sorry, I keep saying boat, that cruise ship off the coast of Japan, look how fast it spread there. I understand that they're in small spaces, but that's what a lot of China is as well. A lot of small spaces, apartment buildings, office buildings, a lot of that makes up the Chinese cities. And I feel like the rate of infection sounds too low considering how viral this thing is. One thing that I noticed from the statistics is that children seem to be, I don't want to say children seem to be immune, but there seems to be very few children that are infected. And that's quite surprising because I thought it would affect the young and the old in the same kind of way, but it seems to be affecting older people more than it does the very young children. So I'm surprised at that. What are your thoughts on the coronavirus affecting children? There's a new policy in Beijing. I'm not sure if this is rolled out across the whole country, but if you go to the chemist, the pharmacy, if you want to buy cough medicine or fever or headache medicine, you need to fill out a form and you need to provide your ID card. So I guess if you're a Chinese national, your ID card, if you're a foreign national, your passport, because they're keeping track of all the people who are buying cough medicine and fever medicine and stuff like that, just in case some people are trying to hide their infection. I'm not sure what they would actually do if you bought cough medicine just because you had a cough. Are they going to forcibly test you? But it does seem to be, though, to be honest, at this time, with the virus going around, to buy cough medicine or fever medicine, it would appear that you have neglected the fact that the virus is going around and you decided by yourself that you're not going to get checked and you're just going to try and fight it by yourself, which is, I guess, quite irresponsible. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think people should be forced to provide ID to buy these kind of medicines? And do you think they should be first tested to see if they have the coronavirus and then given the cough medicine or fever medicine? What do you think about that? Just want to touch on something. One of the people who was released in America has now been forced to go back into quarantine because they tested positive a day after they were released. How weird is that? So these test kits for the coronavirus are really inaccurate right now, and it's quite worrying. As I was saying yesterday, this 14-day quarantine period, when the virus can live on for 24 days before you even know you have it, that just seems to be completely flawed and just really inconsistent across the whole world. And if someone in America, after the 14-day quarantine period, which now we know should be 24 days, has been released and on the 15th day called back because they tested positive, how many other people that have recovered just within the 14 days and before the 24 days where the virus could still be in their system and, reproducing? I'm gonna clip a little video here.
This is the death and recovery rates for Hubei province, and then moving on to the rest of China excluding Hubei province, and then going on to the rest of the world, which actually is very similar to the picture in China outside of Hubei.
That's very interesting because I'm not quite sure why people in Wuhan would have such a high death rate compared to the rest of China, because there's no cure. What difference does it make if you're in hospital? What else are they doing how are they caring for people who are affected? There's no cure. What are they doing? But I would be very scared to be in Wuhan right now with a death rate like that and the way that this thing is spreading. It seems like Wuhan is about to get deleted from the map. I saw an unverified video that was suggesting that China is going to sacrifice Wuhan to save the country and that they are going to quarantine 300,000 people. So I guess time will tell. The WHO is in China right now. I'm not sure if they've been allowed into Wuhan as yet, but that'll be interesting when they do get a chance to go there and see what is actually going on the ground. Another unverified report that up to 500 doctors and nurses in Wuhan have been infected with the coronavirus. What do you do if you're a doctor? And some of them have been hearing that they're not allowed to return back to their apartments because the people who live in the apartment blocks are telling them that they can't come in because they might be spreading the virus to inside. So that's kind of a difficult situation to be in. You're in the hospital around all these potentially infected people. You may potentially be infected yourself, and you're working 24 hours a day. And then when you finally get a rest or a day off, you head home and then you're told you can't even go back home. What a difficult situation to be in. And yesterday I saw a report about a prisoner being tested for the coronavirus, and it turns out that 2 of the prisoners have tested positive. One was transferred from Thailand to the UK, and my guess is that the second one has been infected because of him. So right now I'm seeing conflicting reports about whether the tests were positive. Some news sources are suggesting that it's confirmed, and some of them are suggesting that it's an ongoing thing, that they haven't got the results back. So I'm not sure yet, but the 2 prisoners have been tested for the coronavirus, and it seems like there's a bit of a panic going on at the prison. And it's interesting because he was transferred from Thailand, and Thailand doesn't seem to have so many cases reported of the coronavirus, considering how many Chinese travelers go there for the new year and how many Chinese people live and work in Thailand. Something that has also been reported, they're suggesting that Thailand has an outbreak happening and they don't know it. So maybe there are a lot of people in Thailand, maybe more than even in Wuhan, that have been affected with the coronavirus that are dying without realizing that it's actually the coronavirus. And I'm still suspicious that there are no confirmed cases from Africa. I'm really suspicious about that. I just feel like it's happening and people just don't know it yet. The last thing I want to talk about is the naming of the coronavirus, which has now been officially named as COVID-19. COVID-19. And that is because they didn't want to include anything in the name that had a place or a territory. And again, it's going back to that thing I talked about yesterday. I feel like the WHO is kind of protecting China in some way. I'm not sure why. And I'm not the only one that's picked up on this. I feel like there is something going on that we're going to find out eventually. Probably not anytime soon, but we're going to find out eventually. There's something strange going on with the WHO. Every step of the way, they are somehow protecting China. Now, I'm not suggesting it should be called the China virus or something like that, as some people have suggested that it should be called, or as people are nicknaming it. I don't think it should be called the China virus, or the Wuhan virus. But for example, MERS was called the Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, and Spanish flu got that nickname, and then it was officially named Spanish flu. So I don't know, I just feel like this time, this name, after we've already been calling it the coronavirus, it should have just been called the coronavirus 2019. That's what it should have been called. I know coronavirus is like a family of viruses, but coronavirus 2019 is the official name of this one, and all the other coronaviruses can have their own little names. But this one has already been... Hillary! Stop! But this one has already been called coronavirus for so long. Yeah, I guess it was incorrectly named, but why did they wait so long? Why did they wait until it became like a massive worldwide thing, and then to finally give it a name that no one wants to use now? So what is it again? COVID 2019? COVID-19. It just doesn't flow. It just doesn't flow. They should have given it a name that we can say, like SARS or MERS or Spanish flu or Wuhan flu. What's wrong with that? I don't understand. That's where it originated. That is where it came from. Anyway, that's my thoughts for today, and I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna go because it is 11 o'clock and I can't be bothered anymore. So I'm gonna leave it there, and I will see you all tomorrow for another update. Do let me know what you think about all this in the comments down below, and I will see you then. Bye.